pages hear the sound of time, stories weaving words that climb, whispered tales in a cozy nook. Welcome to the magic of every book. Bookshelf babble, take the stage, turn the chapter, fill the page. Laughter, wisdom, stories to spare, a podcast world where books are everywhere. From paperbacks to leather spines, mysteries, thrillers, and classic lines, stories crackle, voices ring. Dive on in, it's a podcast thing.
Hello everyone. You're welcome in our live session in Hello Talk. Here we talk about books and related topic what related to books. And this is live session. And another you mean write your questions in chat here. I will try answer on E. Okay, let's go start our session today, and I host this session in Hello Talk application. If you're not familiar, it's a platform where people around the world learn languages, and I like to create voice room that has name what book I reading, and if you want to talk, just find and join for this room, and talk about book with people around the world. Okay, I'm started, and we wait when someone joined to us. But first, I need to share the link about I'm streaming this session on Twitch. Okay. Okay, I posted, but I can't see my anything here. Okay, I just like to recreate this voice room because I think some problems happen with the application, and I started again. Yeah. Okay. That's strange. I tried to write. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. Okay, I try to leave again. Close this. Close, leave. Close. Okay, and try to start again. Just check what happened. Okay. Okay, I don't know what happened. I will recreate this voice room. Just wait a second, and I try to restart application and check. Yeah, I see some problems with this application because I'm not restart computer many hours. It may be some problem with this application happen. Okay, I just wait when I restarted, and just wait some second here. Okay, yeah, I restarted, and yeah, now I think Yeah, now it's all correct. My comment display in on this platform as regular as before. I will write that I'm streaming. Yeah, okay. I think it's all fine now. And we just wait, and if someone join, I will see the avatar should be appear here. But before comments and let the participant not display, it's not possible to correctly manage talk. Now I think it's all should be fine. And just wait when someone join to us. And when we start talk. Okay, if it about me, I still reading a book that has name 1QH4 by Haruki Murakami. I'm reading the third part of this book, and it's very enjoyable. It's very interesting story, and I think this third book is some slightly different by style. It's more more dynamic, more focused, more like split it on the parts, and more it looks slightly different than previous two parts. Yeah, I'm reading this book and I'm enjoy it. Yeah, we're back. I have this the first two books I have in paper variant at home with a lot of pages, but third book I didn't find in the shop in library nearby me, and I just decided to buy this book. Oh, sorry, use electronic version of this book for reading. Okay, as yesterday, no one joined to us. Some sounds strange. Okay. Hello. You're welcome. Here we talk about books and related topics. If you like it, just raise your hand. I will add it to conversation. And first question: what book are you reading? If you want to, you can just chat here, and you can answer this question in chat. Yeah. By me, I'm reading a book that has name 1QA4 by Haruki Murakami. It's some kind of drama, thriller, some of his elements of fantasy, and main and love story in the main role here. I like it. Yeah, it's very interesting. I read first two books in this series. I was very enjoyed, but now I'm reading the last part of this trilogy. Yeah. And it's complicated to answer this question. Can you write more detail? What do you want to ask? Or just join to room and ask your question by voice. Okay, or just left if you want. It's no matter. Okay, we wait when someone join to us. If you watch this stream on the Twitch, don't hesitate to join to conversation and write some comments in chat. I will answer because I see all comments. And if you feel free to write the comment in chat uh, on Twitch if you want. Okay, let's go to talk. Okay, I added you here. Hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. What about you? Okay, nice. And first question, what book are you reading in current moment? What book are you reading in current moment? Do you read some books now? Okay, it's some problem with sound. Can you write the name of this book here in chat? Because I like to find some information about the book. Okay. Can you tell some word about what's this book? Okay, just a moment. It's David Goggins, author of this book. Okay, I know. I didn't hear it, but when I try to find, I see several books with the same name. Okay, it's sounds interesting. I found some information about this book. It's some kind of bestseller and has a very high rating on Goodreads. Okay, I see. I added uh, references this book for my reading list, and maybe the next time when I will like to choose uh, next book for reading, I will be choose this. Thank for recommendation. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I have another question. It's about like your reading experience. Can you suggest like one book, maybe where action happened in your country, or maybe like a main character from country or something related to your country? Okay. Uh, okay. Thanks for mentioning it. But also, you mentioned previous book is some complicated for me, recognized by voice. Can you write the name of this book too? Yeah, yeah. About this book. It's on. It has like English translation. Okay. Okay. Just second. Uh, I just find some. I find what you mentioned, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and I just it's some kind of historical book. Is yeah. Oh, can you tell some words about this book? About book what you mentioned before, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It's some kind of. Okay, I will check it. I will check some maybe later. Yeah, I mentioned before in here in the chat, but I just like to repeat. Now I'm reading book that has name 1QA4 by Haruki Murakami. Uh, yeah, I typed it name in chat. It's a novel. It's novel, some kind of drama, some part of like a thriller, some part of fantasy. And but main like to role in this book, a main plot is all built it around the love story between two people, and this love story like to grow through the like to school years to adults life, and yeah, and it's some like mystery happen between these two people, and main action happened in Japan in 80s of 20th century, and get a lot of like to reference on this time.
Julian Hills, the bestest book for me after Srimad Bhagavad Gita is Think and Grow Rich. And the book have been, international best-selling book. And the book is also, refers to so many fundamentals of life. I have read Think and Grow Rich thrice. I would like to read that, fourth time. Whenever I will get time, I will definitely go with Think and Grow Rich with fourth time, because that is just a masterpiece. Consists of very powerful knowledge of life.
Okay. uh, I see. Can you again type name of the book here, because your voice is some loud, some silent, uh, and not recognized well. Can you type here name of this book?
The book has been written after the experiment and researching of 20 years. So I feel you should read this book very first, then go with Can't Hurt Me or those other books. But just read this, Think and Grow Rich. It
Okay,
has been a very best-selling book.
I found the correct book. It's like to Napoleon Hill, author of this book.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I found this. Some people mentioned this book before here. I think it's so very popular, especially in this kind of book when about self-development and growth and how being how be the rich. Yeah, I think it's so very popular, and many people like have tendency to read this kind of books. But to be honest, I not so like to see in this direction. I don't know why. Yeah, but I focus more on just like maybe self-grown book or some self-development, not like to focus with money. I don't know why.
No, no, no. It's not only about money. Means the fundamentals Napoleon has mentioned can be applicable in your life plus on money. Like it's not certainly that you have to go with money. No, you even there are so many very interesting chapters available there. So it's not only about money. It's also about self development, your improvement, your mindset, the way you pursue your life. So it is not only about money, it is also about so many other methods. I hope you see it.
Yeah, uh, I see. I see this point.
So,
And
how do you read a book? Do you read a hard copy or do you read a virtual book?
it's depend on like availability of the book. For example, book what I mentioned before, 1QA4. I started read this book because I have the paper variant and I write like two books from series in paper. And third, now I'm reading in electronic version because I don't have like a paper book. I think it's depend on like availability, but I prefer to read paper book because it's like a more I don't know sensitive. It's when you feel like a physical object in your hand. Yeah, but electronic book it's some very suitable and very practical. You can like to pick up light device and read it whenever you want, or just when you walk. What about you? What do you prefer?
Honestly speaking with you, dear, I love to read hard copies. I love to read a paper book. I don't love to go with the virtual one. For me, like I say, it depends on people to people, which ways works best for them. According to that, they should go ahead. But for me, I have given the chance to, for both, like online books and hard copies. And what I found more suitable to me was, real books. I have read, I have heard so many audiobooks about so many books. I have read virtual books, but none of them was as useful, as optimistic, as useful and optimistic as real books are. Like, while reading those books, I can not only maintain my focus, but also can get so much out of the book by by reading the stories of the author. Whatever he mentions in a real book explicitly. So that's what I like.
Yeah, I see your point, but in the same time, electronic book has some advantages what I very like. For example, I not read book on from computer or from a mobile because it's some slightly complicated because you should be every time see it in some specific position. I use like to electronic reader. It's like to uh, half. It's like to with gray screen, very like comfortable for eyes, and it has very nice because I am reading on English as almost all books, and sometimes I need to find the translation of the word, and it's very simple to do. Just like to press the word, and almost immediately you can find this translation or meaning of this word. But if you read the paper variant, you should be just like to open the phone, find type the words, and do a lot of stuff. In this case, it's very like practical for me read in electronic variant. Yeah, yeah, it's and also I like to read in public transport. It's a very good way uh, to spend the time. But it takes a physical book. It's some complicated because it's some heavy, and every time you should be care on this in your bag. It's not sometimes not every time is very suitable. Yeah, but I think it's all both has advantages and disadvantages, and it's suitable for different situation.
I have read, almost a few books. Something it comes 4 to 5 books online. What I ultimately found out that whenever I just constantly look at the smartphone's display, so some sort of tears started emerging out of my eyes, and then I just feel like something uncomfortable to me. But still, on the other hand, if somebody is very suitable for the online devices, so they should definitely go for that, no issue. Since people are not same, they have their different ways to do the things. It's something like after your school, you are entitled to choose the subjects according to you. It's not like if I go with like mathematics, if I go with civil engineering, then you have to go with it. No, if you don't have an interest, why you need to go? You just find, you are supposed to find your own subjects where you thrive and go with that. Means like it depends on, for me something works, and for you something else work. And it is like vary from people to.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's just like a people specific case, and every people is different. And yeah, we not every time we all people is different. Some people has some common, like to prefer. Some people has very different. Yeah, but I think it's all these both variant suitable. It just like to one additional ability to read. It's yeah, what appears in last like to 20 years.
Anyways, how did you get the interest for reading books?
Uh, because if I read the interesting book, it just like to engage me to continue read, and especially when you talk about novel, it's very nice because you read, you imagine situation and imagine whole plot like to movie in your head, and also you use like your own experience, and I like this. I like this feeling. And in this case, I like to sci-fi books because they describe something unexisted in this world. It's very interesting to know how authors like to build new world, new environment, and what some interesting ideas they bring in book. In this case, why I very like to sci-fi books about about space traveling, about investigation new worlds. Yeah, and also a book is some very important sources of experience because very often describe situation what never happened in your life, but you see how the main character behave, and in some point you understand, okay, this behavior it's scored in this situation, and next time when you maybe appear this situation in your life, you will be you have this experience or similar experience, and you behave more like to practical or more like to correct for new condition. Yeah, in this case I like it because it's like to almost free experience what you possible get.
If I may answer the same question, so same reason I have. Actually, I read non-fictional books, self-help books, business related, psychology related, money related. Many genres available in my checklist of books. As you have mentioned, a very amazing point that you get the experience. That is the practical point you mentioned there. What I personally consider is, instead of like instead of experimenting by yourself, and instead of making the same mistakes that the other people have already made in the past, you can learn from them by knowing from them through any way, by get mentored from them, by reading something about them, by reading the books they've written. And I feel reading books, like whoever the author of a book always like give his experience in the book, so we can learn something from his experience. Let's assume if I would like to start my own business, if I just learn each and everything by my own, it will surely take me so many years to just understand the basic fundamentals. On the other hand, if I read from the books, if I gain the knowledge from the other experienced and elite persons, so I like the possibility of my improvement will just increase rapidly. So that is also the reason I read books. And I've been reading such books for over 2 years, and now I have become pretty consistent in reading book. I just don't only consider that as a time pass. No, I also take that as an enjoyment, and as well as a learning source. And I wish that people should read the book if they want to grow in their life.
Yeah, I see your point. But just like to one moment about like to self like to development self growth book, and very often this book contain a lot of like to suggestions, and sometimes this suggestion is some it's some in country specific or maybe now even person specific, not for all persons will be suitable, and it should be like to analyze this because some ideas is some common and pretty like to common for all people, but some maybe is like to country specific. It's suitable for USA, but not suitable for I don't know for your country because you have very different cultural aspect. But in the same time, I think it's very important to do something in practice because when you just read and okay, you have the feeling like to you know this knowledge, and you feel like to okay, I will be do it by this pattern, but without like real practice, sometimes it's just like this knowledge gone. Yeah, it's my point. It's not my favorite genre, but I like read this kind of books with practical points. What like a suggestion I can apply for myself, and I try to do this.
That's like very very obvious. Until or unless you execute the points mentioned by the author in your real life, so the information or the insight you have in your mind will be similar to useless. So yes, that is like very obvious, that is very natural. Until you apply those tricks in your own life, you are not gonna know how how things works. Maybe the author have mentioned something in a different way, you take it in a different way by actually executing in your life. It is right. And as you have mentioned a point that some ideas are different, some are common, some can be vary according to the culture and country. That is also very natural, because let's suppose if you are reading a book and the author have mentioned 20 tips in the entire book. Let's suppose the author have mentioned 20 to 30 pro points, so it's not like that you are going to apply those 20 to 30 points in your life. No, it's not, it doesn't happen something like this. You will just apply a few points from that book, like you will not apply the entire points in your life. That you will apply the ones which are suitable to you, according to your condition, according to your behavior, and according to your habits. Those things will be useful. And like it just happens, like we cannot just apply each and everything from a book. If we want to apply that so things, we will be something like as an author. On the other hand, the author may have been different and we want to be different. So it's even like if we do not apply the knowledge in our real life, so that will be, I personally consider, is equal to zero, or something like we haven't heard anything specific. So applying the knowledge in real life is a good mentality.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's good like to practice, not just read, but practice in real life. In this case, I can suggest one of the book what like to. I was inspired last 2 years. This book has name Atomic Habits. Uh,
By James Clear, right?
Maybe I think it's not very popular now. Um, uh,
Yes,
they contain a
the
lot of
author
says,
name
yeah.
is
This
James
book
Clear.
contains a lot of suggestions how like to manage good habits, how to press bad habits, and structure of habits. All another information is some important, but I find just like a very important like to idea in this book, especially as of some few first pages. It's habits are very powerful. It's if you manage these habits and these habits like related to your goals, like to long-term goals, and after on the long distance you can reach a very good result. And in this case, I try to use this suggestion just like to one suggestion uh, and not care about another. And yeah, it's like to my point, and and I think it's working the same some in other books. When you read, you can just find one or two ideas that very resonate for you and very suitable, and just use.
I have already read that book for a few months back. Atomic Habits has been written by James Clear. Like the book is ultimately about how to eliminate a habit and how to adopt a new one. And throughout the book, the author very elaborative way have mentioned how to adopt a new habit, new behavior, how to break one, how to be consistent on something. As you mentioned, if we have a good habits, that ultimately lead us to our goal. And yes, such type of things have been mentioned in that book. Like the author has also mentioned that if you simply improve yourself 1% in a day, so you will just improve something like 37% in the entire year. And 37% completely is not a little number. It is very very high. And if you just improve yourself year after year, year after year, just in less than a decade, you will be completely a pro version of your own self. So Atomic, yes, I have read. And like the author have mentioned the four parts: how to break a habit and how to adopt one. Like the bad one, make it very hard to reach, just don't see, and whenever the trigger occur, do something else instead of that. So many points are there.
Yeah,
That book
yeah,
is epic.
yeah. I think it's an amazing book. It's one of the I very like, and but I not really read. But maybe it's a good point to reread this book, especially its English of this book is very simple. But yeah, you described some very like details what written in the book. But I think its main idea is its habits is very powerful. And yeah, and you mentioned like to improve on something just 1%. It's like to you have a very good result on the end of the year. And yeah, it's sometimes it's habits. It's just habits. You should be just do something simple action every day without maybe like improvement anyway. Just maybe as physical exercise. You cannot improve like physical exercise every day, but if you do some physical exercise just like 15 minutes, you have a good result in the end. Not like you will be like a very strong man after the 1 year, but you will be keep your form. And I very often see this result. Yeah, and as as a result, I try to use this application, for example, every day. It's like my habits, what I followed last maybe 2 year.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing book. I like it.
Yes, like it's not necessary that that you will see your 1% improvement every day. No, it doesn't happen. The thing is, like some results or some improvements are internal, means they are intangible. And on the other hand, there are some improvements which are very tangible, that you can just directly see them, directly notice them. As you have given the example of gym. Like if you hit a gym, and at the last day of a gym, last day of the year, you will be a strong person, you won't be a strong person. That is right, because you will be improved, though you will be improved, but it will not be something like shown to you completely, because first you build yourself internally, then you build yourself outer, outer side, externally. you know like simply, if you just have good habits, like if you have a good mentality, a strong mind, you can tolerate emotional and physical pain. So that is the internal improvement. It means you cannot see that. You cannot just measure that. That will just happen on the way of its own. Like an example of a tree, when you just keep a seed into the sand, so you can just water it, you can just give it the sunrise, but you cannot just see how much it has grown into the sand. When it will be just come out, then you will be able to measure it. And even the measurement will be something like nothing. So it will come like on its own. We cannot completely determine whether it's not in our hand, obviously. It is just as it is.
Yeah, yeah. I see this point, but your idea about like improvement 1%, or something, just like a small improvement. I heard about this in it's in one of the podcasts when like two developers also told about this idea. If you do something regularly and if you focus on improvement, just like this, some maybe a little piece of improvement, but if you do this improvement every day, in result, and after like a long time, you have a good like skills or good, or I don't know, like a product or some like content. And this idea he told in context of creating on content like to video for education. And it sounds very complicated to do some kind of video, good quality video on the start, because you're not familiar with platform, you don't know what to do. But if you do like to and record video every day, and okay, after 10 days you can see, okay, I know how very quickly like to switch from one scene to another. It's one improvement. After some several days, you know how keep interesting like topic. And another, if you focus on small improvement, but you have a very good like to result. And I think it's like to double like to profit as habit, and improve the habits in during the whole time. It's like to uh, you have the profit in more uh, like more okay, you get the more profits. Yeah.
Hmm. Like if it comes about improving ourselves gradually, there is one completely dedicated book which is completely on those effects. The book named is The Compound Effect. That is the very first book I have read and started. I just embarked on my journey of reading books with the book named The Compound Effect. And that book is just the core of improvement little by little. It's something like, let's suppose you are in America, and you are going somewhere. Your destination is just another continent or another city in America itself. If you just move your aeroplane merely by 1 degree, means by one degree left, so you will ended up going somewhere else than your destination. So the book is just completely about those little improvements, how to adopt a habit, and how to make a momentum momentum is very good. Let's have an example. Let's suppose you are on a roller uh, coaster, and the very first time the roller coaster will take so much energy, so much time to move. And when the very first time, not this one, like when the roller coaster just moves, so in the initial time it takes so much energy, takes so much time to move. But the very moment it gets momentum, it just keep going, it just keep going. And this is same happens here. If you have an habit, what you need to do is just watch over your habit and keep doing this, and you will get into momentum. So that book is also very good. That is talks about the basic fundas of improvement and all.
Okay, I just want to ask. It's Darren Hardy, is this book? The
Sorry.
compound. I just asked about like the author of this book is Darren Hardy.
Actually, dear, I have read that book before 2.5 years ago, so I forgot the name of the author.
Yeah, I sent the like the name, full name of the book. Maybe it's some. I think it's some very popular too. Maybe it's the
Full
correct.
name of the book is the full name of the book is The Compound Effect itself.
Yeah, I sent in chat here. You can just check. I think it should be this correct name. Okay.
Yes.
I just want to add one moment for idea what you mentioned about sometimes when you like to train in some kind of skills, we have some like period in our skills when we cannot see like real progress. It's some kind of like to plateau. Because for example, if you start like to learn roller coasting or something like this, you have like to you can see like progress on maybe on first like 2 months, but after maybe on during the 3 months you cannot see the progress because you do all the step, all the like movement, but progress not like to visible. But in next like to 4 months you can like to maybe next like to jump for level. But it's very important to keep going even if you cannot see the progress in your skills, because maybe it's just like some kind of cumulative effect. It's like to come store inside of you, and you just need to like to repeat many times before jump for next level in some kind of skills. It's my vision. I think it's some common like to pattern in many skills.
Sure. As you have given the example of the gym itself, like in just a year, you cannot see the results. As I have mentioned, there are some results which are very internal. You cannot just see them, they are intangible. On the other hand, there are some results which are very visible. You can just see them directly. So, same with the example of a gym. You cannot see yourself as an growing, as having biceps, six packs on your body. No, you cannot see that within a year. You will see them gradually, but you will not see them immediately. So yes, you are right. We cannot just see the results every time. We just level up ourselves gradually. But by the way, dear, it's 6:30 p.m. here. Right now I got to go. I'll go to a ground. But it has been a very good conversation with you.
Yeah,
I'll catch you later.
yeah. It's very nice talk today. I just like to want to mention I'm streaming this session on Twitch. I sent the link. If you want, you can just see the video version of this our stream. And also thank for a lot of suggestion in nice book about self development. I think it's one. It's some kind of impressed me, and maybe I pick up the this kind of book for next reading, because I like this self-development, because it's self-development, self-growth is one of the things what you can do and improve, and you should be do this on during the whole life, not matter when you start in school or in like in middle age. You can improve because improvement is you stay more better, and you like to more enjoy the life. Yeah, I like it in this point of about self-development. Yeah, thank you
Yes,
for your time and
also.
talk.
Hmm.
Also, as mentioned before, okay, he just leave. I just repeat for everyone. I think it was nice talk today. We mentioned a lot of books. I tried to find and prepare a list of books what was mentioned here in description below, and we more focused and talk about self-development and self-growth book. And for me, it was some kind of inspiration to try to and choose this kind of book for next reading, because several interesting book was mentioned before. Okay, I think it's time to end our session today. I'm glad to we have a nice talk, and maybe if you watch this session on Twitch, don't forget to follow this channel. If you watch on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, put the like, write the comment below. I very appreciate to read the comments, because it's some kind of fuel and take me energy to do this content. And yeah, and also it's a show for me if something interesting in this kind of format of talking about books. Okay, it's all. Thanks for your time, and see you next time here in Hello Talk live session. Bye.
Flip the pages, hear the sound of time. Stories weaving words that climb. Whispered tales in a cozy nook. Welcome to the magic of every book. Bookshelf babble, take the stage. Turn the chapter, fill the page. Laughter, wisdom, stories to spare. A podcast world where books are everywhere. From paperbacks to leather spines, mysteries, thrillers.